listening to the Contraritics Podcast, pushing back against the insanity of this world with arguments that may or may not work. And here's your hosts, Josh the Gun Nerd and Ian the Beer Nut.
Hey, good to see you all back or hear you all back here C is now a YouTube thing, so they can see us.
Yeah. You can see that I'm wearing a Mariners shirt because, when this airs, you will know
the results.
Exactly.
I know what the results are already. Because I'm a realist.
Right, but also they haven't made it this far in 24 years, so.
I know, every time.
Exactly. I was, 13 when they last won their division, which is crazy.
We didn't hang out a whole lot back then.
No.
It'd been weird.
Yeah, because you would have been.
I was married through
20s.
3 years. So.
Yeah. This is a shirt that this is my only Mariners shirt, and I don't even know where it came from. It looks like it's never been worn because I don't think it has been.
Yeah, that's great.
From 2003, it's been. Where do we even start? There's a lot of stuff in the news. There's people continue to have Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, it's fun.
You do wonder though how we move forward as a country if we can't agree on, because I don't care if you don't think Trump's the greatest. I don't think he's the greatest necessarily, but
we can all get on board that train.
But if we can't agree that people, the whole ICE situation, that assaulting ICE agents is a good idea, and that Antifa should be allowed to persist, unabated. It's I don't see how that is good for anybody.
Yeah. Are they now officially considered a terrorist group?
I believe so.
Okay, good. Because they are.
Yeah.
So it's good to acknowledge reality.
Yeah, I just heard, did you see that panel that they invited a bunch of independent journalists to the White House the last couple days and asked them to testify on what's happening based on their research?
Yeah, the local
reporting.
Katie, I don't know is it Davis
Court?
Is that how it is? Okay.
Yeah, I think she's with the Post, is it the Post Millennial?
It sounds...
Post
something.
Something.
Let's say the word a few times.
I'm like that. It sounds like post millennial, but it's not.
Yeah.
But anyway, independent, and then also the other local person that has gone.
The Kevin guy?
No. Dang it.
Here we go.
We always do this live.
Yep. Who got hit in the face with the? Was that Katie?
That was Katie.
Okay, she got hit in the face with the flagpole or something like that.
But then the other lady I think she was on Cairo or King 5 for years, and then as a journalist, and then she's gone independent recently and is on YouTube. And
that's what smart journalists do. The ones that like to journalism.
Right. And she testified that she recovered from Trump derangement syndrome and is not I don't think she's fully conservative, but she's much more free thinking, free press,
able to use her brain.
Actually, able to reason.
Yeah, that's sure we want everybody on our side, but also we just want people that can think and acknowledge reality.
Yeah.
Like the blue sky effect. Calling it blue can sometimes offend people, but it is blue.
Yeah, and just being able to, everyone, I think even those with derangement syndrome know that a lot of it's a lie, but they want to believe the lie.
Yeah. It is what do we have? We had, I was reading about it last night. The guy that went into the Washington State Capitol building.
Brandy Cruz is the lady.
Brandy Cruz. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
Thank you, Google.
Yeah. Did it just tell you? It just overheard you talking.
Yes. Well, I recently got that brain implant.
That's right. Yeah, Neuralink.
Mm-hmm.
Straight to Elon.
Yeah. How about starting off with some cotton candy?
Yeah, that sounds good. I can pick that apart.
It's this is The Fair is Canceled by Sig Brewing in Tacoma. Cotton candy sour ale. And it is fitting that it is blue.
Oh, wow. That is blue.
And wow, just the nose on it smells like cotton candy. Kind of a mix between cotton candy and grape juice almost, like just on the nose that I'm getting.
I'm so excited.
This is like...
You're selling it. That has got a blue foam head on it. This is
I mean,
the
it
most
looks
ridiculous
like soda.
looking, yeah. This is the wackiest beer that you've brought in here.
Yeah, and it's actually local. It's not like from Wisconsin or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have gone with so many names just for the look of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, whoa.
What do you think about that?
That is like a yeasty cotton candy.
Yeah, yeasty cotton candy, yeah. Whoa.
Wow. Oh my goodness, I have all kinds of feelings.
Wow.
I actually don't even know if I like it or not.
I don't know either.
It's like I feel like a child.
Right. Yeah. Like
oh my goodness.
Like you melted a popsicle into
like
drink.
Yeah. Wow. Holy smokes.
Whoa. Like
they could have put this in a smaller can.
Right.
Because I don't know actually if it's bad.
Yeah.
Or if it's just hard to drink.
It like hits the back of the throat and just like it almost makes you want to gag, but not because it's gross, but it's like it's just that
it's just so weird.
I don't know. Like you're starting to enjoy the flavor of like the cotton candy, but then that sour hits the back of your tongue and you're just like, wah!
Yeah. That is really, man. Okay, we're gonna annoy some people by spending some time on this.
The Fair is Canceled. Cotton candy sour ale. I mean, it is both those things.
Yeah,
cotton candy and sour.
Yeah, it's good Lord. I mean, if this was a candy, I'd understand it.
I mean, it reminds me of the, wasn't it the ale that it was like, I think it was based on like a popsicle, like the red, white, and blue popsicle.
The red, white, and blue rocket looking thing, yeah.
And I think that's the one where I hit the microphone in reaction to giving the sour shimmy. This is not something that I would buy a keg of.
No, unless you're buying beer for like a kindergarten party.
Right. Or a group of friends that you're not that fond of.
Yeah, totally. This would be a great kegger for like a frat party where they're just going to drink it for the novelty.
And 3 beers in, they're just yakking.
Yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah. Man, we could come up. This would be like if clowns got together for a party. This would be something they would drink. Like
if somebody walked in right now, they would be like, "What?
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah,
did you like mix in some Kool-Aid?"
Yeah,
it is like, what would you call that? Aqua.
I mean it looks like snow melt with like. I mean that's weird.
It's bluish green.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a aqua color, but yeah, that's, I mean, it's right up there with I mean, in those beers that you want to experience to know what it tastes like.
Oh my goodness.
And then every drink you're just like, is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Like not bad, but just is it that potent or that?
That's what it is it's not. I mean, again, I'm not going to go buy a sixer of this.
Or even another can.
It's one of those ones I would buy the can for like, hey, you want to try something weird? I just took like 2 big gulps of it because one, I need to get through it.
Yeah.
and also it's like, will I throw up?
Right. How is this going to settle?
Yeah, like it causes a physical reaction.
It does.
Like,
it's actually hard not to make some sort of face or, I mean, it's almost like a hot sauce that you're like, is it really that hot? And you take another bite and sweat for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's this like, like this is going to make me enjoy the next thing I drink really a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I think I've actually had this one, the other one recently.
I haven't had this one.
It is, if I remember right, it's a fantastic one.
A watermelon mango daiquiri sorbet.
Yeah.
So
it's not gonna. I mean, it's gonna be. Yeah, it actually fits really well with this one, but it's totally different.
Different. Yeah.
I would drink that all day long.
You'd buy a sixer of that.
Yeah. But this is. Yeah, I'll take another big gulp.
You want a big gulp of it?
No,
because I think big gulp is that 64 ounces.
I don't know if I've ever had a big gulp. I mean, I've had like Slurpees, big Slurpees, but
guys, I have screenshotted so many. Not the bee stories this week. Like they just keep rolling. Not
so good.
Not the bee stories, but not the bee that are just like. I don't know if you saw this one. British judge gives men who protested against migrant sex offender longer jail sentences than migrant sex offender.
That is upside down world.
Like that is actually not justice.
Yeah.
Like that, you are not at that point. Like we can complain a lot about the government overreaching, doing things that it shouldn't. This is actually neglect. This is actually you have a man before you that has sexually assaulted somebody. I mean, sex offender. I don't know, what the actual case was, but if that's true, then this is actually the government not doing its God-given responsibility.
Yeah, and that leaves in those extreme cases, that leaves people very frustrated.
And what it actually leads to is more of what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah,
and that is what you might want to. I mean, you might call it vigilante justice, but it also might just be justice. So there's this case out of Arkansas. Some of you might have heard of it. Arkansas dad Aaron Spencer tracked down his missing 14-year-old daughter with a location app, only to find her with Michael Foster, a 67-year-old convicted pedophile, out on bail for raping her. So it's a little confusing. Like that wording is a little confusing. I tried to find clarification. Like had he already been convicted and then let out on bail? That's what it sounds like.
That's what it seemed like. So
and then,
which we see too often of right now. People just heinous crimes and then judges letting them go, which I'm fine with as long as it's in the judge's house. Like okay, we're going to let you out into public, and by public I mean my living room. And
what is it? South Carolina, where that girl was, she went over to a friend's house. She was dragged out of bed. And then this guy just executed her on her knees while she's crying for her dad. And now this dad is, saying, why was this man ever let on the street? He was convicted like 39 times. But, of varying degrees of crime. You knew this person was dangerous. You knew this person shouldn't be on the street, and you let him back out. And now I couldn't be there for my daughter. Like, you can't imagine listening to that video of her just on her knees crying for, I mean, but she knew that her dad would fight for her, and that's what he's doing now, posthumously. But now Spencer forced Foster's truck off the road, rescued his daughter, and shot Foster dead on the spot. Now facing second-degree murder charges, Spencer's defense claimed self-defense under Arkansas's Stand Your Ground law. And this, obviously, it sparked a firestorm across the web of people's opinions and things like that. And now what? What was he justified? Was he...
I'm shaking my head, but I'm shaking my head at the situation. I mean, I mean, in that case, and I'll be like more legal than I probably want to be here, but like in that case, I would like to say unequivocally, yeah. But in that case, I'd say I think legally, yeah, because he has found his daughter with this guy. The cases that I would struggle a little bit with more legally are the ones that like hunt the guy down and kill him. I would not call what dad did is that's called being a dad. That's not called vigilante justice. Now, there's been cases. There was what was it, Stephen Sautain, something like that. I'm saying his last name wrong, but he like had a guy in his jail cell with him, and the guy was talking about raping and molesting a young girl, and he just kept talking to the guy about it. And if I remember the story correctly, when the guy went to sleep, or maybe he just laid back on his bed, and the guy that was hearing this chimo talking about, doing what he was doing, he just went over and I think he just choked him out. Huh. And so like, I mean, I'm not shedding any tears,
right?
And the guy that did it was no saint. I think he probably even said words that, I mean, he was, wearing an orange suit right next to the guy.
Yeah.
But he was not molesting children. And then there was another case, I think, up in Alaska, where a guy he had been molested and nobody had done anything with about it. And so he just started looking up child molesters and knocking on their doors and smoking them. And, I mean, that's another one I'm not going to cry about. But that would be more possibly in the, vigilante justice. And I think people like that should receive a light sentence at worst. If in the worst case, like, I'm trying to not have this just go through, like my filter, but a biblical filter. And that I struggle with that, honestly, because, there's another case of an unnamed father in Texas, like a decade or so ago, who heard his daughter crying and went around to the other side of a barn and found a child molester in the act of molesting and just pummeled the guy to death. Fantastic. Like, yeah. I hope you didn't hurt your hands doing that. Like that's, literally beat the dude in his face and throat. And I've seen a mug shot of a guy with a lip the size of a basketball that just got beat. His eyes, like, I think his orbital socket's broken. Dad just beat the dude up, and he had walked in on the guy molesting his son, and just beat the guy to within an inch of his life. So, if you find somebody in the act of doing that, like it should be treated the same as somebody in the act of homicide.
Yeah, and I think what if you had the opposite of, the opposite of taking full action and, taking that guy's life would be not responding at all.
Yeah.
And, or responding with, hey, could you stop doing that? Hey, sir, could you, and that's, I think, the equivalent of what we have a lot of today in our society is just dads backing off.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know if they're afraid to say something, or they think they'll mess it up more if they do say something, or they just like, oh, they'll turn out fine,
Yeah.
But not just your sons, but your daughters are looking for input, even if they act like they don't like you.
Yeah.
It's not. It's probably a maneuver to actually get your attention.
Yeah.
Like they do actually want to hear what you have to say. They might not like it right away, but they actually want your protection.
Totally. Yeah, and it has to be, you have to live in such a way that your children will talk to you. Like, so one of the guys, what was the guy? Is the Plowshy one?
Yeah. Gary.
The large print on the book.
Right.
There's the the Why Gary Why book, the Jody Plowshy story. If you've been on the YouTubes, you possibly, I mean, unless all you're looking at is like gardening advice or something, which I actually, I don't garden, but those can be interesting. But it comes through my feed.
I mean, it's in a different category than Plowshy.
That's right. It's fertilizing the earth.
It sounds like maybe plowing, but it's different.
Yeah, it's different. That's right.
It's French. I don't know. Right. It looks French.
Yeah, it is French Louisiana.
Yeah, and I had run across this video and not known what it was. I just connected it when you started telling the story. I was like, no, I've seen that video. And I'm like, dude, that's badass.
It is badass. Like, this is a dad that the sweet and condensed version of the story basically is that the son was involved with karate class, and his dad was, if I remember right, kind of a drunk, and a good drunk, and that, he wasn't like, beating his family or whatever, just wasn't there and present the way that he needed to be. But Jody had a good relationship with his dad, and they invited this karate instructor into their house. The dad ended up becoming actually really good friends with the guy, and it was being groomed. So that's, one, as a dad, you need to learn what grooming looks like, and that you will be the one groomed if you're at all present in your kid's life, because they want your trust. And so you need to know what grooming looks like. And we've seen that, unfortunately, in our own community, people that have been fooled by somebody like this.
It just starts with, like, your default should not be to trust everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I hate saying that, because I tend to be that way.
It is actually, that's what the people that wrote, our forefathers that wrote the Constitution. Yeah. That was an underlying assumption that Americans should distrust Americans. In the sense that
a healthy distrust.
That you are prone to wander, prone to sins, and prone to weaknesses. Yeah. And so we're going to set up 3 distinct powers, to keep you from corruption, keep, the evil from lurking in, at least easily. Yeah. But like, you should just my kids, like, they have to get to a certain age before I let them go to the bathroom on their own, just in our church. And I actually trust most of the people in our church. Yep. But also, even with having guys, hanging out, watching doors and stuff like that, I don't know who's in the bathroom. I don't know who's, just hanging out, waiting to do something evil. Teenage boy that... Yeah. I don't know every teenage boy in the church. Yeah. Maybe he's visiting, whatever. Like, there's scenarios. And it's not also that I'm not gripped by fear, saying that,
I'm just being vigilant.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, are you old enough to handle this? Are you even old enough to know what to look for? I mean, we have regular conversations with our kids. Yeah. Like, hey, remember, your teacher or whoever, just some guy in the church is not the ultimate authority. If they ask you to do something that feels weird, or that they shouldn't ask you to do, then don't do it. And come ask me.
Totally. I tell my students that about myself. Yeah. They, in order to get their attention the other day, I told them that I would tell them a story that kind of related to something we were talking about. And one of the students said, can we tell, I think one student said, can we tell other people about this? And then another student said, can I tell my parents? And I was like, look, guys, like, you better be able to tell your parents everything I say in here. Like, you do. If I ever, or any teacher ever says, don't tell your parents, don't pass, go, like, or don't pass whatever, you tell your parents, like, you 100% do that. Like, whatever I say here, you better feel very welcome to tell your parents about. Like, you should never feel like I'm going to tell you something that you should keep a secret.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
And it's I do want, just for the sake of not telling stupid stories, like, I want that kind of accountability, let alone just, people being weird. You know?
So back to the Plowshay thing. Like,
yeah. So
he was on his way back from trial. Is that what he?
No. So what happened is this had gone over the course of a year or two. There was Jody. He was, I want to say 12, 13 years old. And there was, sleepovers and trips, to go do karate tournaments and things where he was being molested by this karate teacher. And eventually the karate teacher's like, hey, you want to go to Disneyland? And so they went to Disneyland from, Louisiana over to California and land or world, whatever it is over there in California. And so they end up capturing him. They send Jody home, and within the week, they are sending the child molester home. And he's being escorted by law enforcement. And they arrive in Louisiana and at the airport, and they're walking him through. I think there's law enforcement officers on either side of the karate teacher molester guy. And Gary shows up. This is back in the day of phone booths and all that. And so he's basically got his face in a phone booth. And as soon as they walk by, he turns around with a revolver. And he's friends with the law enforcement guys. Like they know him. And he's also friends with the guy that he had just found out had molested his son. And just one shot, just he's lights out. And one of the law enforcement agents is, yelling, "Why, Jody? Why? Why, Gary? Why are you doing this?" Because he was, looking for justice. And in the end, I think it was justice that was done. If I remember right, either they decided not to prosecute him because they're like, nobody's going to convict him in this little area that they're at, or if they did take it to court, I think he ended up getting he ended up getting community service, and it was like basically mowing lawns for a church that he was already mowing lawns for.
That's funny.
So it was, I think it other than the events happening, other than the molestation happening, it couldn't have been handled any better in my mind. We don't have to go through a long legal process and, convict this guy and have him sit around and rot in a jail cell.
So Google's Gemini summary is that he was originally indicted on charge of second-degree murder, but his defense reached a plea bargain. He ultimately pleaded no contest to the lesser charge of manslaughter. Psychology reports were instrumental in the sentencing. Psychiatrists testified that Plowshay was in a temporarily psychotic state, and at the time of the shooting, and could not distinguish right from wrong. During the sentencing, they stated that imprisoning him would serve no purpose, and that he posed no virtual risk of reoffending.
Else. Yeah. Because at that point, anybody that would want to molest any of his children know that there's a certain consequence for that.
Exactly.
Which is, that's the goal. That's the goal of justice is, you know what? I may want to do something bad, but if I get caught, it will be bad for me. Whatever that is. Robbing banks, destroying flock cameras.
It's the same concept, with, like at Camaraderie one night, I think somebody was pushing back on, I think maybe Philip was pushing back on, the whole speed limit idea.
Yeah.
And was saying, well, if it's the death penalty, if you run over somebody with your car, then I don't think people are going to speed.
Exactly.
So what's the actual offense? What should they actually be punishing? Should they be punishing for these ticky-tack things? Is it actually the government's job to police all these babysit people? Or is it especially if you're not actually putting people in prison that deserve it. You're putting them back on the street, and then you're giving me a speeding ticket.
100%.
What are we doing? Go out there and do your job.
Yeah.
But also, I understand it's not the police. The police have no control. They're frustrated if somebody's right back on the street.
That's an interesting thing. Like I'm trying to right now get. Not trying to. I am going to be looking this afternoon for a picture of a guy that came onto a local school campus in Lake Stevens, and did you hear about that?
I reposted that. Yeah.
Okay. And so, like, I want to know what that guy looks like, because they basically said, the judge said, yeah, we can't really do anything about him,
right?
But he's been like a nonstop problem.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is when a judge doesn't take care of those issues, then those issues fall to the people that are on scene, and that is ideally law enforcement, but usually things happen before law enforcement shows up.
Yeah.
And
what it essentially does, like I said before, like, okay, if you're not going to take care of this problem, I am.
Yeah.
And it leads to people taking it into their own hands, which actually might be meting out justice in some of those cases.
It is like, somebody comes onto our school or church, on a Sunday, and they decide that they're gonna, yell Aloha snack bar and start shooting everybody up, and we smoke them right away. By, Lord willing, that would be the case for that kind of an instance. Like that is 100% justice. Like, that is us taking care of the problem. Even though the FBI's known about them for a long time, or maybe got them to do it in the first place.
have hundreds of tips on the same guy over a period of years.
Yeah.
And we just poured something that does not say sour at the end of it. So it actually says, is it last word daiquiri?
Yeah, it's a watermelon mango daiquiri sorbet.
Wow.
Yep.
And it poured like a sorbet.
It did.
It was chunking out.
This is like soft serve, right out of a can. It's a dessert sour from
it is a sour. Okay.
Claim 52. Yeah.
It is barely sour compared to that other one.
Oh, yeah. This is heavily fruited. Re-fermentation can occur if not kept cold, which I'm kind of curious to do that sometime to see what happens.
Right.
Rouse fruit from bottom of can before opening.
I did give it a good shake.
Yeah. 6.5% ABVs.
Yeah, both these were pretty low. This was 6.5 as well. This cotton
and
candy.
These fruited ones, they don't taste like there's any alcohol in them.
I mean, daiquiris in general don't. I mean, like, daiquiris are usually pretty sweet, and
that's good. Like I really.
It is. It's just it just kind of messes with me how thick it is.
Yeah. Yeah, Karen and I had this one and another one. I can't remember what the other one was a couple of weeks ago. And the second one, like I did, upend it and make sure that it was all mixed in. But man, the bottom third was like, a puree.
Yeah. Yeah.
and so she was drinking, I think, finishing up the other one or whatever, and so when I poured it into hers, it was chunky, like, and when you're drinking the rest of it, it's fine, but when the first thing you drink is something that's halfway solid, she was not impressed, and it was. I tried it after that, and I was like, oh yeah, there's some fruit in there.
I did. I just popped on Babylon Bee, and one of the top articles was James Comey produced his letter signed by 51 former intelligence officers stating he's totally innocent.
Yeah. This is the frustrating thing right now. Like, if we're going to look at some principles and themes, we're not seeing justice.
Right.
And we're whether it is the local chimo or the guy that's insane, that's showing up at, businesses and churches and schools and just being freaking retard. Or it's way out of our control, not getting the Epstein list or having, politicians that are only going to succeed here on earth, they're only going to get more money. They're never going to get caught. They're only going to take from us.
Yeah. I mean, all the Israel stuff, just like, are we for our country or are we for Israel more than our own country?
Yeah. We're dealing with a heavy sense of injustice. And so we have to understand where justice will come from and when it will actually arrive. And that is at God's feet. Justice will be. So again, fight for justice and look for it and defend your children and your family and all those kinds of things. But in the end, know that ultimate justice is not going to be here on earth.
Yeah, and don't, I don't know, I feel like Americans at one point, just like maybe conservative Americans, just kind of go along with the flow. Oh, I'm sure the police know what they're doing, and I'm sure, like have no backup plan, have no thoughts of their own on what should be happening or what is this. Can this police officer actually do what he's what he's asking you to do, or like just be like I don't want to say more independent necessarily, but more
agency. I think did we talk about that recently? Like having your own fruit flies everywhere.
Well,
doesn't matter.
It's the sorbet.
Maybe they pour it out of the can. But knowing that that you can just do things,
right?
Like that's a big one. That you can put in a hot water tank in your house without pulling a permit. You can break that law. You can do it. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it. It's your house. It's not anybody else's house. You can build a deck. You can do whatever you want. Like, knowing that God, that giving up those things, or not knowing what your God-given rights are, is giving to Caesar what is God's.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing what God created you to be able to do, and then asking somebody else to do it is not okay. And knowing what law enforcement is allowed to do with you. Are you required to show your ID in certain circumstances? Knowing what the law is on that, and then not being a jerk, but holding up those standards, because what you give away is never given back.
Right.
So I mean, I'm talking like a broad range of things here, from pulling permits for a hot water tank to defending your children against, child molesters and politicians,
or even just
one of the same. But
even just sending your kids off to the university.
Yeah, 100%.
They'll figure it out. I went to college; it was fine.
Yeah, no, it's not fine. Like, quit doing this. Quit sending your kids. Get them the hell out of hell in public school. Like, just quit that right away. Make all the sacrifices that you need to do, and stop giving your children up to these freaking rainbow-haired wackadoodles that literally it's now law that they can go and cut your kids' genitals off without any permission from you whatsoever.
Right. You talk about grooming. I mean, they're with those teachers all day. And then,
the public school is a grooming school. Like, it is. It's grooming your children to walk away from God.
And of course, you have those teachers in there that are great. And
you have the exceptions to that.
Yeah, you have those exceptions.
Guess what? You have a lot less exceptions when you're either homeschooling or taking your kid to a good, solid Christian private school.
Yeah, and
we know of one.
If you make the argument that they can be a light and they're going to be evangelists or whatever.
Nope.
It's like, well, but why would you put that at the feet of your children?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're being a lousy parent. I'm gonna say
the upside. The upside does not seem to outweigh.
I'm gonna go send my children to the wolves, and they will be totally
sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not what we're looking to do. Raise your children to be strong children with teachers that share your standards, and then when they're older and have moved on and shown that they're faithful to the beliefs that you've brought them up to have, biblical beliefs, then they can go and affect those worlds. But raise them up to be teachers that go into those schools and usurp the usurpers, but don't have them go to class.
I mean, this is why I think, people typify or put different label or different meaning on Christian nationalism. But as I understand it, I actually am all for it, because I think we need people in, if we do want to see the world, not to see the world, but to see the world changed by the gospel, then let's bring back all the Mike Tyson memes. Then we actually should want Christians who care about government, who care about education, who and maybe that means for a time just retreating completely. And I do think it means that right now.
There's a tactical retreat.
And then retake positions of power. And then to then either abolish, which I think should happen, abolishment of the government schools, or redistribution of that those monies or whatever. There's a lot of different ways that can go, but I think it starts with Christians who care about seeing God blessing the world. Because when you're like, Mayor Nearing was actually in speaking to our kids a couple of weeks ago, and he made a good point, which is he's like, my neighbors are best served when I apply my Christian principles to governing. They are actually blessed why would I leave my Christian principles at home? Like, they are actually blessed when we have people in government that are applying the Christian principles faithfully. And
that goes not for every religion. That goes for Christian principles. We don't want Muslims using their principles to not bless everybody. So that's like it is. This is a country that is based on Christian principles that is not fit for people that do not believe in God and
or that won't submit to those.
That won't submit to it.
Laws. Well, kind of got a heart out today. I know many of you are going to be bummed that we're just cutting it off. I mean, you just love to hear us, stumble over names and places and people. But or react to sour beers.
Or cotton candy. I'm still picking up notes of that, even though I rinsed up my cup.
It's one of those. It's like root beer that just doesn't go away right away. But I will say, like, I think if anything from this episode, you get like fathers, take charge and step up where you're failing. And be humble enough to realize that you're failing, and then to course correct.
Like that's a big one. It's like, and I know you were heading this direction, but like the course correction cannot happen. It is not setting a good standard if you are not repenting of it. So where you see that you have led your family ship the wrong direction, you don't start steering the other direction without saying, "Hey, hold on a minute. I've screwed up. I am wanting the best for you guys. I headed this direction, or I was not paying attention when the ship was heading this direction, and so that's my failure. So own your failures,
because I see the iceberg ahead, and I really don't want to hit that.
Absolutely. You know what? I mean, my oldest is 14, so maybe we'll all find out that I really screwed the family up in another 10 years or whatever. But I feel like I'm on the right path, and that is not the perfect path. That is not the doing everything right path, but it is the path that when we realize we've bushwhacked the wrong direction for too long, then we say, "Hey," I have to say, like, I'm not even drag my we into it, but I have led us down the wrong path. Let's turn around before we end up in the swamp.
And I just said recently on a post, I said the ceiling of your patience shouldn't be the standard for your children. So
was that you?
What?
Was that you? That was great.
Because I was thinking like a lot of people can tolerate a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like, you see the mom with the screaming kid and just pushing the cart. No, yeah, honey. But like, just because you can tolerate it doesn't mean that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like you should want more for them. Obviously there's different stages and things, you can't expect a toddler to act how they would when they're 20, but think about
some do.
Think about that behavior on a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And think how ugly that would be.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever 20-year-old version of that would be.
Yeah.
Throwing a fit. What does throwing a fit look like at 20?
Unfortunately, you don't have to look too far for that right now. Look for some colored hair, and then you'll find it.
Or just some weak, young men that are just floating all around.
Yep.
That are willing to take advantage of your daughters.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah. So there's, we can talk about all this because we need to do all of it. Like,
this is all just like pointing right back at us.
Exactly.
We want you to hear.
We have
about
great
it.
advice for ourselves.
Yeah. So listen to our advice for ourselves if it applies to you, and if you're more than likely doing better than us, then keep on doing it and encourage us along the way too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Until next time.
Defiance, obedience.
One inseparable whole.
Thanks for listening to the Contraritics. Tune in next time for another dose of guns, beer, and contrarianism.
Whoa!
Wow. Oh my goodness, I have all kinds of feelings.
Wow.
I actually don't even know if I like it or not.
I don't know either.
It's like I feel like a child.
Right.